Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the report that the Washington Commanders are looking to find a dynamic running back capable of playing on every down, what that means for Brian Robinson. Also, the Washington Commanders signed a familiar face in Josh Johnson and another big name player that the Washington Commanders are meeting with in the 2025 NFL Draft. If you guys are new, do all that good stuff, subscribe, comment down below the running back you want the Washington Commanders to draft. If you don't have a name, maybe give like a round. Maybe you want to draft one on, day 1 in the first round, or day 2, second and third round, or you want to draft one rounds 4 to 7. Let me know in the comment section below. So let's get right into it. So this report from John Keim saying the Washington Commanders are looking to find a dynamic running back capable of playing on every down. And, he's just basically reporting that they're looking for a running back. And he's not, throwing any shots at Brian Robinson or anything. Don't think, he barely mentioned Brian Robinson in that report, if he mentioned it at all. But indirectly, what he's saying is they are looking for a replacement for Brian Robinson. Would they maybe be okay with Brian Robinson as their RB1 heading into the season? Yes. But I think ideally they have someone else as their RB1 by the start, or at least at the end of the season. If maybe it's a day 2 or 3 running back, early day 3 or late day 2, that maybe they don't start right away, but by the end of the season they're starting. I think this report kind of shows that that's what mindset they're in. So even if Keim's not necessarily saying it, I think indirectly he's basically saying they're looking for a Brian Robinson replacement. They have Eckler too, but he's under contract only for this year. So they need some other running backs for sure. We'll talk about some options. I mean, we can start right now. You got Travion Henderson. You got who Travion Henderson will probably be a late day 1 pick, early day 2 at the latest, in my opinion, at this point. And then after that, you got, Omarion Hampton. Not after that. That's going to be before that. I doubt he goes to 29, but there was some mock drafts today with him to the Commanders from Tony Pauline, or just one mock draft, I guess. And then also, you got Caleb Johnson, who's probably going to be a day 2 pick. You got Quinshon Judkins, who will be a round 2 pick from what I'm hearing, what I'm not hearing, just what the reports. So that's another running back. Devin Neal is another guy. Dylan Sampson, Bashal Tootin, all those guys are options on day 2, early day 3. Harvey, Taj Brooks on day 3. Jordan James from Oregon on day 3 as well. There's a lot of running back options. I mean, I can just show you guys real quick. Go here, Commanders, and just go over some of the top options. There's a lot of options for the Commanders. If I didn't say Devin Neal, he's an option on day 2. Probably will be a 3rd round pick. So would be in a trade back scenario in the 2nd round if they trade from the 2nd to the 3rd, or maybe. He falls to day 3. So you see how the draft is playing out right there. I guess I should have made it a lot quicker, but we'll go ahead, look at the running. I guess we can look right now at the running backs. So Genty obviously is going to be off the board. Hampton, Henderson, Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Scattaboo, Dylan Sampson, Devin Neal, DJ Giddens, Jordan James, Harvey, Martinez. Yeah, my guy Tootin there, a little bit lower than I think he should be. You got Jaden Blue. But yeah, that's basically it for the running back talk that I wanted to discuss. Basically, they're looking for running back, an RB1. Brian Robinson, he's okay, but ideally he's not your RB1. There's not a lot of teams that he's RB1 on in this league, so they're looking for a replacement there. All right, Commanders signed Josh Johnson to a 1-year contract, so cool story there. He played with the Redskins in 2018 and won that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then, it didn't work out after that. The Titans game, though, they should have won that one. But besides the point, he's been in the league for a long time. Everyone knows about Josh Johnson. Started with the Bucks, went to the Niners. I'm not even going to mention all the other teams, but was with the Niners again in 2014. Was again with the Redskins in 18. Was with the Niners in 2020. Niners in 2022. So you see the connections there to the Niners. And that's when Adam Peters was there. 2020 through 2022, Adam Peters was there. And I'm trying to see if any other stops where, he was there while Adam Peters was there. Doesn't look like it because Adam Peters wasn't with the team in 2012 and 2014. But yeah, ties to people in this organization, but also to the 49ers with, Adam Peters and I guess Debo too. So he's not going to be QB1, obviously, not going to be QB2, obviously. And, he's going to be competing for the QB3 spot. He's a veteran, probably the vet of the veterans, the vettiest of the veterans, whatever you want to say. He's been in the league for a long time on a lot of different teams. And, he's a vet. He will be able to come in, run the offense, do what you need to do. He's not going to be a starter, but, he'll be fine for you. He'll be fine as a QB3. I think, he'll be competing with Hartman. If Hartman has a great offseason and is, looking good in training camp, then he's going to make it over Johnson. You rather have a younger guy with a little bit more potential as your QB3, where maybe after the season you can have Hartman as QB2. But I could see the scenario where it's Jaden, Marcus, Josh Johnson, and then Hartman on the practice squad if no one picks him up. Johnson as a third stringer, it makes sense. Like I said, knows the offense, is a mobile-ish quarterback. He's not super, super quick, but he's mobile-ish. He's athletic. And, that fits the mold with Jaden and Marcus Mariota. So you want to have similar quarterbacks so you can have, if someone gets hurt, knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen. But you have someone that has a similar skill set to the guy in front of them. So, I think it's a solid signing. A little, I wasn't expecting it, but they made it work. So, wide receiver that they met with, Tre Harris, Ole Miss wide receiver. There's been a lot of good Ole Miss receivers recently, last 5-ish years, I guess, because A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. And then I'm trying to think, it was Elijah Moore, I'm pretty sure, not Rondell Moore. He has a top 30 visit with the Commanders, also with the Bears and Texans. He's a physical receiver, probably will be a day 2 pick. Second round is my guess. Not sure if he'll be there when the Commanders pick, but let's go ahead and look. Tre Harris, we'll look at his stats just to give you guys a little bit of a sense. So 60 catches, 130 yards, 7 touchdowns, average 17.2 yards a catch. So really good stats in the SEC. I mean, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see in the SEC. 7 touchdowns, 130 yards, or 1,030 yards. And the 2 years before that was close to 1,000 yards. So he has production, no real returning threat. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Had a couple 2-point conversions. But yeah, played well with Jackson Dart, 6'3", 210-pound receiver, guy that the Commanders don't have. They don't have a bigger body outside stud. I mean, they have Noah Brown, who's solid, but he's not 6'3", he's like 6'1". So, and he's not, going to be a stud. Tre Harris has a chance to be a stud. So, someone to watch for on day 2. I think the Commanders will probably go defense round 1 if they can with the edge rusher position. But if it doesn't work out, they could take receiver, Matthew Golden, maybe someone like Ibuka, or maybe an offensive lineman. Tep McMillan, if he falls, that would be a good pick in my opinion. Isaiah Bond might fall. I mean, not that the Commanders would have picked him anyways, but he might fall a little bit more because of the legal, activities, issues that he's had recently. Not sure how much that'll affect him. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.